UL, man.
Oh,
UL, man.
Hell yeah.
UL is on their way to the supers, man. It's all about that UL. They got great hitting. They got great pitching. They got great coaches. All about that UL, baby. UL is calling the Super Regions. And we, of course, are talking about the one and only University of Louisville. Guys, you go on there for a second, didn't we? Welcome to episode 41 of the Matt Ryan Show, where everybody in Lafayette now officially hates us if they didn't before.
Yeah. Where do we begin? Tonight?
Well,
We know Louisville's in the Super Region.
We know Louisville's in the Super Regions. Louisville is one of 8 teams from the World Series last year that's still in the tournament. How much parity is that?
The other 7 are gone.
The other 7 are gone, and one of them didn't even make the tournament.
Right? UCLA, who had one of the best pitching staffs in the nation last year.
This is true. It's been May and June madness for the most part. 4 out of the 8 national seeds are gone. 8 out of 16 regional hosts are gone. Talk about parity. We had a 4-seed advance. We had a 3-seed advance. I don't know what's going on. One of the national seeds that did move on, though, was indeed the University of Louisiana at Lafayette with 2 L's. Congrats to them.
Congrats to the Raging Cajuns.
They will. The same thing happened last time we did this.
Oh, please.
Lord.
Technical difficulties.
It's been a long day.
We still haven't gotten a new producer yet. We put an ad on Craigslist to get a new producer for the show, and obviously we haven't got any calls back yet or anybody we judged worthwhile.
Well, it's a high production show. You know, we demand the most quality and all that stuff.
Exactly.
But we'll get to Rapid Fire World Series picks soon. ULL's taking on another team that nobody around here likes in the Ole Miss Rebels, who actually didn't choke. But then again, it's only a regional. It's the Super Regional.
I don't say it's only a regional. Don't say it.
Which is what we're about to get to, actually.
So should we just lock and load and...
Yeah, let's just go to this. The
shots fired.
Yeah, the shots are fired. LSU was in the driver's seat this regional and decided to go barbecue the last 2 games and are done for the season. Brian?
8th inning, Sunday night. Tigers have a comfortable 4-0 lead. Thinking, all right, 6 more outs, and we're moving on to host the Super Region. Let's just get this done. Houston scores 4, ties the game. Oh, shit. Go to the 9th. Nothing happens. Blow it in the 10th. Okay, cool. All right, we'll go back to Monday. We'll regroup, put it together. We start a freshman in Cartwright, who through the season has been pretty reliable as a freshman. Has played in Baton Rouge his entire life. Starts the game, fantastic. 2 strikes. 3rd pitch, same inside pitch that he threw on the 2nd strike, hits the batter. The next 9 pitches he threw were balls. So we start the game off by handing Houston 3 men on base after we scored 2 runs to start the top of the 1st. Houston had tied the game before they ever recorded a base hit. Paul Mainieri, this one's on you. And it all goes back to Sunday night. Bowman had a 2-hitter, no runs, 4-run lead, and you pull him after 6. What's the explanation? Javi Sanchez, jump off a cliff. I said it. It's recording. Jump off a cliff. I don't understand for the life of me how we went through the SEC tournament and not even counting the game against Northwestern. Against the SEC tournament, 10-run rule, 2 teams on the road, but come into our own house and can't seem to manage to put together 5 runs, 6 runs. We had 2 men on, starting a comeback last night, down only 6. 2 men on with 1 out. Double play, end of inning. Tyler Moore at bat. 7th inning. Wheels fell off. We get practically 10-run rules in our own house for a chance to host a Super Regional. I heard on WWL on the way here, is this a program-changing loss? If it's not, we in trouble. Yes, Maneri has brought us to a national championship. Yes, he's won Coach of the Year 3 times. I don't give a damn. When you follow Skip Bertman and 5 national championships, you've got big shoes to fill. Fantastic coach, yes, but his decision-making is questionable at best. How many times throughout the year, Matt, did we scratch our heads via league texts saying, what the hell is Paul Maneri doing?
Enough to where if I did have any hair left before the season started, I definitely don't now.
I think I'm starting to bald. I think I am, because I've been scratching my head all season wondering what the hell Maneri's doing. Wondering what the hell Javi Sanchez is doing. Yeah, they can recruit, but why, for the life of me, I don't understand how Aaron Nola's numbers got better from last year to this year, working under Dunn, but Bregman's numbers got worse. Tyler Moore's numbers got worse. Mark Laird's numbers got worse. The only person who improved this season from last season was Andrew Stevenson. What's the key here? He had an outside hitting coach in the offseason and through this season.
And our best hitter was a freshman.
And our best hitter was a freshman. So watch next season. Who?
Fraley.
So watch next season when Fraley's batting average drops 75 points. Oh no, Javi Sanchez is fantastic. Shut up. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, Matt.
I have to follow this.
Go ahead.
This is going to be pretty tough.
Sorry, I just got out of a group and I was tearing a few guys new, you know what, while I was at work. So, yeah, sorry.
Fair enough.
A little amped.
Fair enough.
But still pissed off from last night.
Multiple reasons. Yeah, I'd say LSU played about 25 innings of pretty good baseball. Yep. They were in coast mode on their way to a super regional, and Paul Maneri, I guess, questionable at best. Some of his decision making, and somebody was telling me the argument today. Well, Bowman's only going 6 innings all year. Okay, that's true. That's a fact. But here's my side of the argument, and it's going to make a lot of sense. And a lot of people that watch the show are going to be even more furious when I throw this stat at him right after the first one. But he was only at 62 pitches, right? He's thrown 90 plus before. And he had a 2-hitter going. I mean, you at least bring him out the 7th if he gives up a hit. Sure, fine. And then in the 7th, McCune did get out of it, but he did get hit hard a little bit. I think you got to bring in Fury in the 8th. You know, if we're just playing a scenario where we're still going 6, 7, 8, and then you can bring Broussard in to finish it off. But,
let me throw this in there, Matt.
Yeah.
You said through 6 innings, Bowman had 62 pitches.
62 pitches. And
Nola had 62 pitches after 3. 3.
Now keep in mind, the guy's thrown 91 pitches per game this year before.
Nola averages about 110 to 120 on the season. He had a 25, 27 pitch second inning against Houston on Saturday.
It was reaching 30.
He was at, okay, let's play it safe. He was at 60 by 4.
That would be really good.
Bowman was at 60 after 6, and Maneri pulls him.
Wasn't having control problems.
He obviously not. He only had a 2-hitter and no runs on the board.
I
Continue. I'm sorry.
Don't remember many loss, but anyway, you bring in the argument of okay, he's only going 6 innings before. Texas Tech in a winner-take-all game last night starts a freshman who has thrown middle relief appearances all year, first start of the year, throws 100 plus, and holds the University of Miami in their own ballpark to 1 run to advance to the Super Regionals last night. So I kind of do not want to hear the 6-inning argument. It can be done. And there's fact right there. If Bowman was at 90 pitches, absolutely. 62? The guy's going strong. It's mind-boggling.
Do the math. He's averaging 10 pitches per inning. He could have pitched a complete game and thrown 90 pitches at that route.
Yeah.
A complete game. And we could have had Broussard if we needed him on Monday.
Yeah, you burned Broussard. I don't know how Fury was able to throw 4 innings last night to shut out ball. His arm was burned before that game. So if anybody showed up last night, it was Fury for sure. That's it. That and maybe Bregman and McMullen. They were the only 2 that got hits last night for the most part.
But yeah, I don't know. Continue. Sorry.
And part of it is LSU, like the end of the game Sunday night, they were hitting it hard, but they're hitting it right at fielders and fly balls. They were pressing too much. And, of course, in the 3rd inning, I think they just got shell shocked and could not recover.
I have to give credit to Houston's reliever. Came on last night.
Yeah, I was calling him rag arm. He just
and shut us down. because he also came on against Southeastern and shut them down. This guy in 2 games threw, I want to say the count at the end of last night's game was close to 170 pitches in relief
for the regional.
And
actually, one of the sports writers came out today and kind of called Houston out on that because that's a lot of pitches. You're going to ruin a kid's arm like that. But, you know, they're playing to win, and at that time, are you thinking about a kid, does he have a major league future, or are you trying to move on to get their World Series?
You know, a lot of people at my place of work were laughing about the idea of we should have put Nola back on the mound, and I saw a lot of stuff on Facebook on the LSU baseball page about putting Nola back on the mound.
No.
Even if it was for an inning, and you got to take into consideration that this guy's going to be a multimillionaire come this time next year because he's going to be playing professional ball. And I think in Nola's head, he probably wanted to throw 1 inning.
He made it. But if anything, you could have brought Poche in.
If anybody's
for 2 or 3,
you know, at least he was on 3.5 days rest.
Right, and his pitch count was only, I think, around 80 because he kind of got rocked.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, putting one of your starters, he was available for a little while. Of course, Nola was unavailable after 48 hours post throwing 120 pitches.
I mean, yeah, Nola and Bowman were basically your only 2 pitchers not available, and then of course Broussard, who was gassed the other night.
So with that being said,
and also the guy that actually got the game-winning hit for Houston was the only one to get a hit off of Broussard the first go-around. So another, I mean, like I said, you can play Professor Hindsight here. He had first base open. Do you consider walking him? You know, to each his own.
It's all speculation.
If I could turn back the clock, I'd be a gazillionaire right now because I could predict every time the roulette wheel is going to hit black.
Right? With that being said,
that's pretty much all it is. Baseball season's over with, and LSU's going to have some attrition, and I think they're going to have more than people think. And if, at least from first perspective, they better hope this recruiting class makes it to campus, and they better hope they have a quick learning curve, because if they all make it, potentially they could be very good, but you're putting a lot of chips on freshmen.
Yep. We do know one fact. Poche and Bowman are going to be back.
Poche and Bowman will be back. LSU's recruiting some pretty stud arms. They're trying to get them to campus, but at the same time, 94-mile-per-hour arm is awesome, but this isn't high school either.
No.
And LSU's going to be playing, I think it's the second weekend of the year, but they'll be playing in that Astros Classic where they'll be playing the teams of the quality of like A&M and Houston's and Rice, teams like that. I don't know exactly who they're playing, but it's kind of like the old Winn-Dixie Showdown they used to have in the Super
That's right.
in the 90s. You know, an equivalent tournament like that. But LSU really needs this, and I mean, you're definitely going to lose Nola. Broussard is gone. There are rumors that Tyler Moore's going to go. There's rumors that Jack Foster's going to go. Kramer Robinson may even transfer. I'm trying to just think of other names off the top of my head right now. And of course, you got seniors that are going. You're losing McMullen and McCune. You're losing Ibarra. Laird is a draft-eligible sophomore who could go. That's a lot of names you're losing right there.
I think Laird stays unless he gets a top three round pick. So I think anything past that, and you really and truthfully, you know, you have a better chance of staying another year and increasing your draft stock. But you know, the one thing that's good to them is that they have the power to, or they have the availability to go to the draft, right, or at least get drafted, decide not to sign, and stay another year.
Well, I'll give you an example of cases like Moore and Foster. I think those two guys, they may just go regardless because the head coach. I think Maneri at times kind of shows his favoritism to some players, and he throws other players under the bus, which I've always kind of had a problem with that, is throwing players under the bus. He never seems to take the blame for anything. You got to keep that in-house. I mean, that's just wrong in my opinion. Right? Now, to each his own. LSU still finished with 46 wins this year, pretty successful year. But like a statement that we've told ULL fans all year, it doesn't mean anything unless you do it in the postseason. And this is where we're at right now. That's the fact. That's the facts.
We're going fishing this weekend while ULL is hosting the Ole Miss Rebels.
And which will probably be one of the best super regional matchups, I think, of the weekend. And there's reason for it that ESPN put in the prime time slot. You got Ole Miss, who's a team that's definitely capable, and then ULL is the same way. That'll be a interesting one for the folks in Oxford and Lafayette to be glued to the television. They'll actually be watching on TV this weekend, not the HDMI cable. But
like we had to do all weekend.
Exactly. But we'll get to our rapid fire of our World Series picks at the end of the show. But Brian, I'll give you a little bit more happier news. Saints mini camp's next week. It's a mini training camp coming up. Saints re-signed or brought back Jonathan Goat.
Yep,
Haven't seen him in a few years. And then I'm drawing a blank on the name right now, but we also signed a defensive tackle who has had starting experience with the Jaguars and the Patriots before. Defensive line depth, Ryan. You can never have too much of that in the NFL, especially with the Saints running that 3-4.
That's right. With Rob Ryan's defense, I mean, you've got to have, ideally 5 or 6 fresh guys to keep that rotation going constantly, and that package constantly changes because you're going to have some guys in certain packages and some guys in others. Some guys who are going to play the rush to run, and some guys are going to drop back in coverage at the line of scrimmage for those flare routes that are coming out of the backfield, and especially for the read option now, which is such a powerful tool when you have when you have quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton. You've got to have fast defensive ends and defensive linemen who can shed a block and shut that down at the line of scrimmage.
And I think if anything, the Saints were one of the first teams that sort of got ahead in the game on that.
Yeah.
Look at the teams who shut down Cam Newton. Russell Wilson managed the game when he played the Saints, but it's not like he lit the world on fire.
Right.
We've had decent success against
San Francisco,
against Kaepernick. Yeah, the Saints are ready for that kind of
No,
stuff.
absolutely.
Who knows? They may be playing Johnny Cash over there in week 2, or unless Wheaton is still starting.
Do we go to Cleveland, or do they come to us?
We go to them in week 2.
Damn. Hell hath no fury like the Superdome on a Monday night or Sunday. I mean, it would have been interesting to see Johnny Manziel, but Johnny Manziel, I think, playing in the SEC, the crowd factor is not going to be a problem for him because he had to play in Tiger Stadium, he had to play in the Swamp, he had to play in Tuscaloosa, and he had some success in those places. And actually, the only team to beat Johnny Manziel both years
was LSU.
These guys.
Is that his only road loss?
His only road loss was to LSU.
Because he lost. Yep, he went like 500 at home.
He went to the Swamp. No, I don't know if he went to the Swamp. I know he went to Tuscaloosa.
We beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. LSU beat him here, and then we beat him over there.
Yeah,
Alabama beat them.
Thrilling game at Oxford.
Yeah,
they had a real good game at Oxford, but A&M won.
And then Bama beat them at their building this year. Florida beat them in Aggieville 2 years ago.
That was the same year. Yeah.
God, who else beat them in their building this year? Ole Miss, I think, actually beat them there this year. Maybe it was it was Ole Miss last year. They went. I'm trying to think of. Oh, it was Auburn. Auburn
sure was.
It was Auburn.
Sure was. The Gus bus. It's so exciting. We get to talk about football soon.
Yeah, it's almost here. When
does minicamp start?
The minicamp is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's only 3-4 days. Quick. So it's basically another teaser. It's basically an open to the public OTA.
Oh, well, I won't be able to make it. I'll be at work.
Yeah, all the practices are during work, and they're like 10 to noon or something.
Right. Who's going to take their lunch break?
And of course, the Saints released the training camp schedule, which 2/3 of it's up in BFE, Virginia, and then the last week or so is back here in New Orleans. Saints I guess split it up for humidity's sake.
Actually, they did it to put themselves in a different climate.
Okay.
To acclimate. I remember hearing that right towards the end of the season that they were going to move some of the training camp to a different climate to acclimate them to playing outdoors. Okay. It seems like over the past few years, we're unstoppable at home. But as soon as we go outdoors, our offense just flops.
They did have a lot of
rain. At Seattle.
They had a lot of
at Carolina.
Yeah.
At Tampa. We just flop. At New York, we flop outdoors.
And not to mention, last year in training camp, they had a lot of practices that it rained, but they get some practice in the indoor facility, so I guess they're going to a less humid place. Science says it's not going to rain as much, and maybe that's why.
True.
But be interesting to see what the Saints do. They'll be playing before we know it. 87 days only till LSU and Wisconsin kick off too. We're finally under 3 months of that over there in H-Town, but. Brian, do we have anything else other than rapid fire?
I think the one thing I heard on WWE on the way here as well, they're interviewing the beer man, Michael Lewis himself.
Ah, yeah.
Talking about who's going to be returning kicks this year. Because the only person we have left to return kicks is Cadet
Yeah.
right now. And they said, should Brandon Cooks shape up to it? He's got the explosive speed to really give us
So
the
can he field
advantage.
it? Can he field kicks and
And
punts?
that was the question: is can he field kicks and punts? This guy's got hands, but it's a little bit different of a situation when you're returning kicks. I think that's going to be one hole that's going to have to be filled during training camp and during the off season. But in Peyton we trust.
Yeah.
In Peyton we
I
trust.
think he knows.
In Breeze we trust on the offense.
In another battle, I'm interested to see Patrick Robinson's moved to the other starting cornerback with Keenan Lewis. He seems to have recovered from that injury, and he's ahead of Corey White and Champ Bailey right now, Red.
I think Corey White needs to be the 4 because Corey White,
And that's where he's at right now.
that's where he needs to be. Corey White shouldn't see the field unless it's a dime package. I really think P-Rob would be a fantastic opposite end from Keenan Lewis. I think Champ Bailey was brought in for those nickel packages as well for experience on the sideline.
But he's a guy that you can plug into a starter role, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He can play. He's still probably got a year or two left of I wouldn't say prime time ball, but some quality ball left in him. The guy, he's got the intangibles that you just can't teach. He's got it, the mental game. He may not be as fast as guys like Brandon Cooks who are coming into the league now and all these other wide receivers. But another one to consider, Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
Yes.
What's going to happen with
Yes.
him? I was like, wait.
Yes,
we're
we're
missing somebody.
forgetting somebody.
We were missing somebody.
Yeah, he's just learning to play both, so he can't really get up on the depth chart.
Not yet.
Yes.
He'll be there. Corey White may not see the end of training camp.
You think?
I'm just saying.
You think as many injuries we have at cornerback?
True, I'm going to hold on to one more.
I think they'll at least keep
I'm excited to see Butler back. I want to see what Butler's going to do in Rob Ryan's defense because he's been under Rob Ryan's defense for the past 4 or 5 years in Dallas and then got hurt in training camp last year, thanks Mark Ingram.
Yeah, but we have some people.
Some people just learn to not put their head down in training
In
camp.
fact, the defensive lineman that we got today when we were talking about with Alabama in 2010, graduated in 2010. So apparently we like Alabama players.
I mean, look,
And before, why would we draft the LSU guys?
they play well in professional ball. They just do. I'm excited to see what Cesario will do on special teams, too. And if they plug him into one of those crazy 5 or 6 defensive back packages that Rob Ryan might run on like a 3rd and 14.
Freak package, whatever the hell they call it.
Where you got like Victor Butler as the down lineman in the center, he's a linebacker. What the hell are you doing, Rob Ryan? I like it. It looks like Madden.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's pretty much all I got for the.
Madness.
Madness. No, Madden. Madden. 2016 coming to the house next year.
So true. But yeah, I didn't really have anything else other than rapid fire.
Rapid fire, let it rip. From the Super Regional
From the
round of the
Super Regional
NCAA
round.
baseball tournament, we have
Stanford at Vanderbilt.
Stanford got a walk-off in the bottom of the ninth in a winner-take-all game last night. That was absolutely incredible. I caught it on the top 10 this morning. I don't think they're going to match up with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, I think, is getting hot at the right time. They got a good matchup in their regional. I think Vanderbilt's going to take their first one automatically with their ace, and I don't think Stanford's going to be able to match up. I got Vandy.
I think Vandy has, falling in that Super Regional to Louisville last year, seared in their mind. They get a second chance to host the Super Regional at home again. I'm not betting against Talladega.
Exactly.
I like Vanderbilt. I think they sweep them 2-0.
Yikes, 2-Q for Stanford. 2-Q for the Cardinal.
2-2. 2-2, excuse me.
We got
Louisville, the real UL, against the Cinderella one of the Cinderella darlings is Kennesaw State, who knocked off Alabama
and Florida State.
Two
2 powerhouse universities. I don't want to say programs, but universities. 2 huge D1 schools whose budgets between the 2 of them is probably more than the combined budget of Kennesaw State and all of their parents' incomes put together. I'm gonna throw a wrench into this one. Louisville advances, but Louisville advances in 3 games.
3 games.
I think Kennesaw State takes 1, just 1.
I agree. I think Kennesaw can win one, but I'm going with the team that made the World Series last year.
The Cardinals,
I'm going to Cardinals.
not to be confused with the Cardinals.
They're gonna out Papa John's them.
Yep. Louisville.
Here's an interesting one. Oklahoma State, one of the 1 seeds to survive, against the ever dangerous and hot UC Irvine Eaters. The Beavers versus the Eaters. I'm not making this up.
Wait. Oklahoma State?
And
No. That's the Cowboys and the Eaters.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
UC Irvine
That was last night.
Eaters
That was last night.
upset the national 1 seed.
That's right.
Oregon State in their own house.
I'm still laughing over the
It's
picture.
the Beavers versus the Eaters.
I'm still laughing over that from last night. That's right. It's the same initials because OSU. But
This one's gonna be tough. OK State's got their hands full, and last week when we aired episode 40, we said UC Irvine's gonna be one of those teams that could be dangerous. Just historically, they're a good ball club.
yeah.
They may not have had the best season. I'm not going chalk on this one. I'm going with the Eaters on this one. If they can beat Oregon State in Oregon State's house, and Oregon State was the number 1 seed overall, I'm thinking they can beat OK State in Stillwater.
I'm going to take State, but I think it goes 3. I think
Either way, I think it goes 3.
I think Irvine gives them all they can handle.
I think either way it goes 3, but I've got the Eaters in this one. Last but not least.
And, well, of course, we got the Saturday ones, too, but Houston Cougars, fresh off, some regional.
Yeah, some regional.
Against Augie Garrido and the Longhorns of Tejas. It will be in Austin.
I got Houston.
I got Houston as well.
Texas can't win at home.
I think
They can't.
this is
They
true.
have a better record on the road this year than they do at home, but they also
And that's
have
probably-
a major league sized ballpark in Austin.
Right.
So that works exactly in Houston's favor as having one of the best pitching staffs in the nation.
But, and Houston came out and flat out won a region in front of 12,000 fans. I don't think they're going to be intimidated by any crowds at all. And I think they have deeper pitching.
Yeah. And I think being in Texas as like the little sister of Texas to UT, to Texas Tech, to Texas A&M, I think they want to prove something.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think as these super conferences start combining, I think Houston's going to be one of the first schools to move into the Big 12.
They might.
They will be one of the first schools to be absorbed into that Big 12 because of all the money and everything. I think this is going to be their proving ground. I've got Houston. And I've got Houston in 2.
In 2. Like, both of it. University of Maryland travels to one of the national seeds that did survive and who I thought should have been the number 1 seed overall, Virginia.
Maryland and Virginia.
I got the Cavaliers in 2.
Yeah, Cavaliers are too strong this year. They were the number 1 team for half the season.
Yeah, and they've been to World Series a few years ago. In fact, LSU and them met in 09.
That's right. That's right.
Virginia's had some success. I like the Cavaliers in that one. It has nothing to do with somebody whose last name is the same thing, as we know.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben.
Another one of the national seeds, and the team that you and I definitely liked, TCU hosting the smart school, Pepperdine.
Do we have to pick this one?
TCU.
TCU's going to take this one in 2.
I like Pepperdine, but TCU's good.
I like picking Pepperdine in basketball, but not in baseball. I think TCU's going to wipe the floor with them. I just do.
And let's see. Next one we got the upset region, I guess, the super region you can call it. College of Charleston somehow surviving in Gainesville, and then Texas Tech surviving down there.
Who's hosting that regional?
It's in Texas Tech.
So it's in Lubbock.
It's in Lubbock. 4 versus 2. The 13, 14 seed in March Madness has made it to the Sweet 16.
This is going to be interesting.
I'm taking the College of Charleston.
I think I will too. Isn't that the Chanticleers? The College of
Something
Charleston,
online.
Chanticleers?
I think it's the Chanticleers.
I think so too. I've always liked the Red
They've
Raiders.
had success.
They have before.
They were in LSU's region not too long ago. They can win in the postseason.
I think this is going to be the 4 seed that everybody wants to read, that everybody thinks could advance.
It's happening more and more. There's more parity in college baseball now. You have Kent State that made it a couple years ago. It's Stony Brook that made it. It's happening.
It's happening!
It was Brandon Prompall.
Yeah, right?
And of course, finally,
last but not least,
the 2 of the teams that LSU fans absolutely despise, the Ole Miss Wabbles and the Raging Cajuns of
University of Louisiana at Lafayette.
So, it's pick your poison, Ryan. Do you take the red and black and have to watch them in Omaha? Or do you pick LSU's most hated rivalry and also the acronym known where the city that the World Series is at, standing for Ole Miss at home again?
Matt, I'm going to take the high road here.
Okay.
The 2012 National Championship. Let it be known that the reason why your 2 friends here, Matt and Ryan, hate University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Oh, that's just one of the reasons. But
The main reason, the icing on the cake, at least it was for me, was that when LSU played Alabama in the national championship, everybody from UL, the majority from UL, were wearing crimson with the big A plastered on them instead of pulling for an in-state team. So I'm going to take the high road. And I hope that the Raging Cajuns make it. So I can say what I did so I can do what I said I was going to do last week, and I'll eat crow. I think this ball club is pretty good. I think that this is the best ball club ULL's had in probably the past 20, 25 years. If not,
since their 2000 World Series.
That's when it was. That was when it was. So I'm 15 years. I will say that Ole Miss is not as good away from Oxford as they are in Oxford. I will say Jackson State woke this demon up. That was the first time they were shut out all season. They had only lost 8 games all season. That was number 9. I do think the Raging Cajuns are going to beat the Rebels this weekend. I do think it's going to go to 3 because I don't think ULL has the pitching to survive if Ole Miss opens up in Game 2. With that being said, I really and truthfully hope the Cajuns win. I do. Nick, Lindsay, there you go.
This is the official IDGAF series.
This is actually a series I want to watch.
I don't care. With that being said.
Good night, America.
Oh, that'd be great. With that being said, for the purpose of making a pick, this is going to be the battle of Ole Miss's pitching against ULL's hitting, because that's the advantage for both teams. I think Vanderbilt's going to be the only SEC team to go to Omaha this year. I think Ole Miss will indeed be at home again, and I'm actually going to be bold. ULL takes them to 2.
Wow.
And I don't think it's going to be that close. I think they're riding a very hot streak right now.
And they play well at Teague. They play real well at Teague.
Play well at the Teague. There's not going to be any junk armors throwing from Jackson State or Tubbo with a really sick curveball. I don't know where that came from, that game. No, Ole Miss has pitchers that throw 90 to 95 miles per hour that LSU sees on a weekly basis. And no luck in it. Taking Cajuns.
Plain as day. So, for next week's punishment for me, send in ideas of what I should have to do or wear.
Ooh, boy, you just opened up a can.
Yeah, I did. But I'm going to pick my poison. Nobody's going to tell me to run around with a bunch of ULL baseball jersey on or nothing like that. But,
seems like you're... Also,
if/when ULL advances this weekend.
Also, I have to ask a question because I think somebody was lying to me. And if anybody, you would know the answer to this. A certain viewer of ours, female viewer who happens to be a ULL fan and is in Disney World right now, apparently said that we have to buy her drinks because LSU lost in the regional and ULL advanced. I was not aware of this. I want confirmation on that.
I was not aware that the deal was flip-flopped because I thought she had said that if LSU advanced past UL, she was going to buy us a round of drinks. I was never aware of it either.
I didn't hear any of this.
Proposed, and I have text messages to prove that I did not know that this was acknowledged.
So you have proof, which means I'm going to have to do what I have to do, and that is lawyer up. Because a huge fan of this show is indeed Keith Fernandez, your attorney for a lifetime.
Attorney at law for a lifetime.
Attorney at law for a lifetime. Or the real big acronym they like to put on there.
Cafalful.
Cafalful. Elena, you can go ahead and patent that.
Alfalfa.
Don't trust us. One thing we do, we may not have a producer, but we do have lawyers. And we have very good lawyers.
Our lawyers are better than yours.
With that said,
could be a fun weekend.
It's going to be a fun weekend.
Watch some baseball, guys.
I will not be in Baton Rouge this weekend, as those plans are canceled. Also finding alternative vacation destinations now, as thanks to Houston, my vacation plans were also canceled.
Let's go to Houston and take over.
Well, we are in 87 days.
This is true.
I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, I'm still kind of pissed off. I'm trying to laugh it off about this past weekend. So with that being said, wait, real quick. Hold on, 2 minutes.
Yeah, we get done.
Heat Spurs. The finals start on Thursday.
See what, when we get angry, we forget things.
Yeah. Damn it, Houston. It's a big topic for us to talk about.
Yeah, I'll talk NBA basketball. Right.
I'll make it quick and make it simple. 6 games. Heat, 3-peat.
Only 3-peat.
Not 2, not 3, not 4. All right, we got to get to 3 first.
I got to say, Dan Levitar's rant on the Pacers. I
I'm
don't know
about
if
to
you
go. I'm
saw
about to
it.
go see it.
Oh,
I've seen the article.
It was as good as the one when they signed LeBronica and all the big three. It was. In fact, Keith said it to me today, and it actually kind of made my day. He's like, "Go ahead, this is gonna cheer you up." It's like, I know you don't like the Heat, but like, I know you like Dan Levitar's rant. It's like, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Sorry, listen to this. And he's playing the 04 Tana music in the background with it. So yeah. What's more funny and very over dramatic than 04 Tana playing in the background? This is another one of the IDGAF series because I hate both teams. I respect both teams. I hate both teams. I hate all the players on the Spurs. I like a few of them on the Heat. I like LeBron James. I like Dwayne Wade. I like Chris Bosh. Actually, I like Chris Bosh better than all three of them. For some weird reason.
Like a Velociraptor.
I think it might be why. Maybe because he looks like a Velociraptor.
Straight Jurassic Park.
Like Ray Allen, too. You know, a couple of those guys. Birdman's crazy as hell. I was kind of hoping Birdman would go ahead and, like, diamond cut Stevenson or something like that.
You might.
Maybe
You may one day. You may next season.
Maybe so. With that said, who to pick? You know, for the sake of being different, I'm going to take the Spurs in 7.
It's either going to go 6 or 7.
And the reason I'm saying this, Ryan, is because the Spurs were able to get rid of OKC earlier than a lot of people thought, and that old team's going to get some more rest. But at the same time, you also could see what happened last year and them getting gassed by games 4 or 5 because the Heat can run them out of the building.
Yeah.
So, if anything, I think it's going to be a very good series. I do think.
But on the contrary, the Spurs in the Thunder series turned up the speed. And I saw in the first 4 or 5 games of that series, they were taking shots with 18, 15 seconds on the shot clock left. They got open looks. Pop gave them the green light. Have at it. And I think that's what caught the Thunder off guard.
Yeah, especially Game 6.
Yeah,
they punched them in the mouth in their own building.
You're used to the Spurs playing fundamental, move the ball basketball, pick and roll, Tim Duncan in the post. You're used to that. So when they step up the tempo and you don't have the big men to match up with San Antonio like OKC doesn't have, besides Ibaka, that's why they got blown out of the first 2 games.
Right.
You know, the point differential after 2 games was 80. Or maybe it was after 3 games, it was 80.
It was a lot. It was basically just blowouts.
But, you know, when push comes to shove, the Heat have that talent and have that size to match up. So if the Spurs were to kick up the speed, and the Heat can answer back with that, should a turnover be forced.
Right.
The Heat are better on defense. The Heat don't rely on 120 points a game from Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant and 2 other people. The Heat have 7 players that can score.
And the other thing is both these teams play defense, and defense wins championships. That's why
Amen.
So there,
Seattle.
Defense wins championships. This is true. With that said, not really much to say. Belmont's this weekend. Go California Chrome.
Yep.
Win that Triple Crown.
Triple Crown. I want to witness history.
I want to win some money.
Oh, that too. I'll give you a 5 spot to go put down for me.
Well, the race is...
Races? No, it's not this weekend.
No, it's this weekend. I forgot if it's on Saturday or Sunday.
Or either way. I have to find it. I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Find me an OTV.
Oh, they got plenty of them around.
Yep. Welcome to New Orleans.
Oh, boy.
With that being said,
it's time for us to venture off into the summer. Baseball season is dead. Football season is, well, I don't know. Maybe like go find inner peace season.
Something. Go meditate.
Go meditate. Like that. I don't know anything else. Good night, America. Thanks for truth, like usual. Episode 42 will be something next week.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll preview U.S. and Ghana.
Yep, that's true. It's coming up.
That's coming up.
World Cup's right around the corner.
World Cup's right around the corner. Until then,
good night, America.
Good night.